Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And you'll want to like this video. The SNP government has plans to release a flagship survey called the Scottish Household Survey, in which they ask Scottish householders a lot of questions in order to gain their views. This sounds like an eminently sensible question, a very big poll by the government to see what people think and therefore see what their priorities are. Maybe in an attempt to then act on those priorities, shall we say, in order to make sure they do quite well at the next election. I understand the thinking behind it. I understand why they're doing it. I think it's actually a good idea. It will give everyone in Scotland a chance to tell the Scottish government exactly what they think. I suspect it may not be exactly what they want to hear. And indeed, the Scottish government now realise that this could be rather embarrassing. And so what have they done? Well, they've axed plans for a couple of questions. The reason being, of course, they know exactly what the answers are going to be before they ask them. And so on the principle of you're not going to like the answer, don't ask the question, they've cut these questions from the survey. What are these questions, I hear you ask? Well, one of the questions is, what do people think about the state of the roads? And obviously, everyone knows the answer to that one. But more importantly, they're desperate to avoid the embarrassment that would be caused by asking the question, what do Scots think of Humza Yousaf? Oh no, that one has been struck from the list and taken out and shot. It is never, ever going to be asked. Even the SNP know the answer to that one would be humiliating. So they've deleted these questions and they'll be sending this out. Now it's been slated. It's been slated by everybody really. This questionnaire within the government, because they're all saying no. If people have the power to tell us what what they think of us, we will be either forced to act on it, or we'll have to answer very, very embarrassing questions on why we either haven't acted on it, or what our plans are to act on it, or why were the other questions that they really wanted to answer. And so it's there in quite plain sight that they are absolutely fearful of this survey, which I do think is a good idea. But the decision to cut these questions comes on the back of this huge, of course, decline in the popularity of the SNP. We're reported on that. Party leaders failing. Everyone's seeing them as, basically incompetent fools. You got the SNP's membership are falling. Nobody wants to sponsor them. There's no corporate sponsors because the corporations all think that they're a bit dodgy and they don't want to align themselves with people who are likely to end up going to prison. They're going to lose loads of seats at Westminster come the next election, whenever it shall be. That will reduce their already fragile economy. Money's in the bank. Their budget is through the floor. They're at least $1 million in the hole. No idea where the money's going to come from. They owe money left, right and centre. They've got all this overheads that they have to still maintain and keep. Nobody knows how they're paying for all this. And things are about to get a lot worse for them. Every single policy is falling. The ones they do manage to get through are useless and bad. And now they've got a whole new line with the gender conversion plans, which may yet even be pulled by Alistair Jack. They are seen as completely incompetent and worse, expensive. Taxes going up all the time to cover their mistakes. But the bombshell poll results from the weekend, showing that they are absolutely in free fall, will not help when this survey goes out, because the truth will come back, and the truth, of course, will bite them. It's absolutely delicious to watch. But now, of course, these SNP ministers who've pulled these questions, they're accused of dodging scrutiny, which, of course, they're absolutely going to do. Last thing they want is answer these questions. They don't want people to question their trust in the government, presumably because there isn't any. And they don't want to ask what they think of Humza Yousaf, because they know that it will force them to ditch him even quicker. There's probably plans afoot, but I think they're going to wait until after the general election so that they can ease him out rather than have some unceremonial dumping to get probably Kate Forbes in. But the survey itself has been overhauled in order to do these things. But they are asking questions about what people think of the Scottish Government generally, councils, the civil service, the education system, the health system, the police, and the justice system. They've all been removed. You're not allowed to give your opinion on any of those things. You can't tell people what you think of health, of education. Why? Why are they so scared? Why are they so mired in fear of people telling them? Is it because people will tell the truth? They don't want that. They are absolutely ridden. And yet, these are important issues to people. But no, you can't speak of those things. You're going to be asked other things, different questions, yes, no questions, 1 to 5 scale of light questions on preset questions. Nothing that will cause embarrassment. It is an absolute joke. Yes, there should be the survey, but the questions must be fair, and they must be open, and they must not be hidden or cut. It is an absolute joke. It is no real scrutiny of the government. The figures that will be produced by this expensive survey will be rather meaningless unless these questions are put back. Where do people want the priorities to be, of government to be spent? Not, I suspect, on independence. Now, this is done every year. As we know, it's an annual survey. The results last year revealing that faith in the SNP's handling of the economy was down. Only 78% of Scots were satisfied with health, which was down from 10 points higher the year before. Everything is failing and falling fast. And that's why they're not asking the same questions this year, because they don't want the comparisons with last year to show it's all bad. Craig Hoy is moaning about it, of course. Stephen Kerr is moaning about it. They're all saying it. And he's saying, if you do not trust the SNP government, you're not alone. They're so afraid of what people think of them, they're not even asking the question. Jackie Bailey said, once again, the SNP is trying to dodge scrutiny, but they cannot hide the consequences of their incompetence. And without the survey, anyone can see that 17 years of SNP government has left the country in an absolutely shocking state. Also, and this will be more interesting, they're going to change it from being an annual survey to a biannual survey every 2 years, presumably to weaken the embarrassment. It would also mean that they will be not in power, hopefully, for the next one. They really are a sullen lot, aren't they? Thanks for listening. Bye.